Coach Sloan, the Cougars are headed to the NCAA West Regional Preliminary Round. Such a mouthful. Austin, Texas. This really is the NCAA championships for the Cougars, and you've got more than more than 2 dozen kids attending.
We have 26 going, 14 men and 12 women, and a few less than we had last year down to Eugene, but still a good-sized contingent for the Cougs. And it's the NCAA championships, and it starts this weekend down in Austin.
A lot more than just the Pac-12 championship type caliber people are going to be there. You're going to have a lot of the nation's best competitors at this meet.
Yeah, I was never crazy about where they drew the line to divide the country in half, but the West region is a very strong region with Texas, and it just goes right straight up. Arkansas, Wisconsin are all in the West region, so it's going to be quite a track meet. Probably close to 1,900 athletes there, and probably I think it might be the biggest track meet in the country at any level.
Do you like this setup for the NCAA where the first round or the quarterfinals, sometimes the semifinals, are right here in this smaller venue? Even though it's a larger competitor, that venue?
I like the fact that we compete head-to-head to see who gets in. I don't like when we had a descending order list and people would go to Texas to run the 100, or they'd go to Stanford or Mount Sac, and people in the West anyway, they go there to get a fast time, and then that's the time that they're seated on. I like head-to-head competition. I want to race you, and whoever's fastest on this facility, on this day, under these conditions, that person gets to go to the NCAA championships, or the finals at least. So I like the format. I like the fact that we're going head-to-head to see who gets to go.
Do you like the 2 weeks that are between the Pac-12 championships and this NCAA preliminary round?
I think it's helpful because the Pac-12 is such a high-level, intense competition. It's nice to be able to take a couple of days rest from that competition, put a good training time in, and then have some more rest leading into this very important competition. So, I think it's helpful to have that time period in there. And essentially, when you think of this preliminary round competition, that's exactly what it is. It is the NCAAs. And I explained to people that if you take I'm not sure how many days it is, maybe 10, 11 days between the end of the preliminary round and the start of the finals, take that period out, what you have basically is a big 7-day track meet. And the progression through that, there are no finals at this competition that we're going to. There's not going to be a winner. It is a preliminary. It's going to be the first 2 rounds of competition in the running events at least, and then you'll move forward from there.
You've got several All-Americans who are going to be competing at this championship first preliminary round. Does their experience help the rest of the team be prepared for what's ahead?
I think that it does. I think that there might be somewhat of a calming influence from the people who have been to this competition. I think it's a little bit nerve-wracking for the people who are there for the first time, whether they're freshmen or seniors. Getting there, you're seeing uniforms that are very unfamiliar to you. We're St. Augustine State, and you didn't even know that school existed. Now here's somebody you got to go race. You know nothing about them. So there's an uncertainty that comes with this competition, and having people with the experience can have a settling effect, I think, on the rest of the people.
Who do you think is really at their peak right now for performances, who will be able to move on or have the best opportunity to move on into the finals for the NCAA?
Well, I would think and I hope that all of our people are at their peak, to be at their very best, both last weekend and again this weekend. This is what we've trained all year for, so we need everybody to be at their best. The people with the greatest chances of moving on, if I go right off the top of my head, Stephen Scott Ellis is ranked, I think, maybe 5th in both long and triple. And so I think he has a good opportunity to move through this competition and get to the final in both events. Joe Abbott, even though he's ranked down the list a little bit further, Joe's running very well, and he's a very competitive person, and I know that Pete Julian has him ready to race for this weekend. And so I think that he has a good opportunity. He barely missed out last time. We were in Texas. I think he missed by hundredths of a second being able to get through. It's a brutal competition because there's so many great athletes there. And when we were in Austin, Texas last time, which I think 2 years ago, we seemed to be like the first man out or first person out because we just had people just barely missing that break point. And so we're going to bring a little bit more to the competition this time and hopefully be that person that gets in, like Jacob Sealby was in the 400.
Does this help that most of your competitors are not in class? School ended here at Washington State on the 4th of May. Some of your kids I know are taking summer school, but probably the majority of them have just been able to concentrate on training for this championship.
I think that it's very helpful. You're in a situation where our weather now is improved. We've got good training weather to deal with, and the class that brings a little added pressure while you're competing, while you're in school, and I think probably more importantly when you get close to finals, the week before finals and the final exam week, that makes it a little difficult there. And you know that's right about when we have our Husky dual meet and also the Pac-10 championship. So once we get through that period, everybody can kind of take a deep breath and focus strictly on their track and field and getting ready for championship competition.
All right, Coach, well, we wish the Cougars the best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.